Thank you very much. It's always a pleasure to be with you on your amazing channel. Now, we are talking about, you just said that the whole world is heaving a sigh of relief that Trump has been cut to size by the Supreme Court.
The Supreme Court's ruling on tariffs is deeply disappointing, and I'm ashamed of certain members of the court, absolutely ashamed, for not having the courage to do what's right for our country. I'd like to thank and congratulate Justices Thomas, Alito, and Kavanaugh for their strength and wisdom and love of our country, which is right now very proud of those justices. When you read the dissenting opinions, there's no way that anyone can argue against them. There's no way. Foreign countries that have been ripping us off for years are ecstatic. They're so happy. And they're dancing in the streets, but they won't be dancing for long. That I can assure you.
Let me clarify that the court has only ruled that the 1977 International Emergency Economic Powers Act, IEEPA, under which Trump had imposed these tariffs, these far-reaching global tariffs, that does not empower the president to impose tariffs, and it contains no reference, the IEEPA, to tariffs or duties. Only Congress can do that. The markets responded positively when the Supreme Court passed its judgment. Trump got very angry and used all kinds of names for the judges of the Supreme Court, the six who, including the Chief Justice, who said, no, this is illegal. However, there are a number of other things that President Donald Trump can do. It's too early to pop the champagne and say, oh boy, we've taught America a lesson. No, we've done nothing. This is the American system at work. Nobody has pressured the Supreme Court of the United States to say, okay, Tigers, rule against Donald Trump. This is the system of checks and balances, the judiciary, the legislative, and the political leadership, which we describe as Congress, House of Representatives, and the Senate. So essentially, it's an internal American decision, but Trump has already imposed 10% tariffs globally under a different act, under a different possibility, under a different power that Congress had given to the president many years ago.
Therefore, effective immediately, all national security tariffs under Section 232 and existing Section 301 tariffs, they're existing, they're there, remain in place, fully in place, and in full force and effect. Today, I will sign an order to impose a 10% global tariff under Section 122 over and above our normal tariffs already being charged.
There are two or three others. I don't remember. This is under article this, that, and the other. The fact is that he's not going to back off. And if it's 10%, well, very good. Some people will benefit, some will not. The thing that I would be interested in knowing is, all right, the Supreme Court says, now, buddy, what you did, imposed all those tariffs under the IEEPA, the International Emergency Economic Powers Act 1977. That was illegal. So what's Trump going to do? According to what I have seen from the website of the US government, $133 billion since December have already been collected. And they expect that if this thing went on as scheduled over the next 10 years, they would exceed $3 trillion in revenue. It's a lot of money. The world would have been willing to pay that because who wants to take panga with the United States? Therefore, my own feeling is we should wait. And we have said very rightly that we are observing the situation. We are trying to understand what is going to happen. Now, if it's 10% for us, it's going to be 10% for everybody. There will not be differential tariffs. It's a global figure. If that happens, then we certainly have a distinct advantage over our competitors because our tariffs, our production costs are very low. The economies of scale will kick in. We have a huge production capability, which not many other countries have. So all in all, I would say that even though we were not directly involved in cutting Donald Trump to size, we should welcome this decision and say, all right, this is an internal American issue, and we're quite sure that the American system is strong enough, resilient enough, flexible enough to sort it out. You know, he's known as Donald McDonald Tariff Trump. Now, and once upon a time, I think it was in his first term, he had said, tariff, oh, what a beautiful word. My feeling here is that to equate him purely to tariffs, he has weaponized trade, there's no doubt about it. would probably be underestimating the man's capability. What he's doing in Iran goes way beyond tariffs. He has got together, he has consolidated one of the largest armadas post Second World War, which he wants to thrash the Iranians. With the Iranians, of course, idiots. They are provoking him for no reason. So Trump has one agenda, which is that America should be the number one in the world again, and no one dare challenge me. The tariffs is only one aspect of that. The military build-up is another aspect. The Gaza Peace Board is the third, because the Gaza Peace Board ultimately is going to benefit Israel. The American ambassador in Israel, I think yesterday or today, he has said that Israel has the biblical right to the entire Middle East. That's a very strong and powerful statement to make. So Trump understands what he's doing, but he wants to make sure that the mess that was created by other fellows, the Middle East sits on a tinderbox, and Trump knows that Iran is the person who can is the country that can light the fuse. Question arises: what is Iran doing there? It's not a part of the Middle East. It's not even an Arab country. And the three demands that Trump is making, that Israel is making: no nukes, no missiles, ballistic missiles, and don't support the Houthi, Hezbollah, Hamas triumvirate. If I were in power in Tehran and seeing what has happened to that idiot in Kiev, who's managed to destroy his country, I would turn around and say, look, I've been threatening the Middle East and saying if America attacks us, we'll carry the war to all the Middle Eastern countries. I say that's not going to win you friends or influence people. What you should be saying is, look, we want to help the Middle East. We want to stabilize the Middle East. So we'll do what America says in terms of surrendering our nuclear program and our ballistic missile. I would have taken an approach of cooperation rather than one of confrontation. But then I'm not Iranian. I'm not in a position of authority there. But I find that what they are doing, the way they are provoking the United States, it's not going to help them at all. And threatening to attack all the countries of the Middle East, it'll be a wider war. What are you going to do? Are you going to thrash Saudi Arabia or UAE or Bahrain or Qatar? Well, if you do that, brother, you are going to face a lot of difficulty, because neither the Chinese nor the Russians, mind you, would want the Middle East to erupt in flames.